evening. Good evening, everyone, and a welcome. Welcome back to Phil's Corner. I should have shaved before I went on the stream. Never mind. Apologies for the scruffy look. Oh, my mic's looking a bit hot there as well. Let's roll that off. Welcome. You can tell it's been a couple of weeks. I will start the stream by saying my mic is a bit fuzzy, and if it's too loud or too quiet, oh gosh, that's not sounding good, is it? If it's too loud or too quiet, let me know, because I can adjust it on the fly. But welcome, good to be with you. Ballum, good to see you. So here we go. Remember everyone, this isn't let me start again. This isn't on during Champions League matches. Indeed, Ballum. I don't know why I can't see the chat here, but you're right. Oh gosh, it's still loud, isn't it? Nice one, Ballum. See you later. I do apologise, guys. Let's try that. Okay, let's try that. Okay. So, very sloppy start to proceedings. Very unprofessional start. But welcome. A bunch of people already in the stream. Good to see you. Gosh, it really does sound... I think I've messed up my setup here. Please let me know if it sounds okay. If it doesn't, I will do a bit of live tech support. But welcome, Football Shirt Connoisseur. Good to see you, my friends. Hope you're well. Good to see the shirts have arrived. Football Shirt Connoisseur, one of my patrons, and the Phil's Corner Icarus Cup shirts have been going out to patrons. Really excited about that, and he also won a giveaway as well. So that's pretty cool. Brock as well. Good to see you, mate. I'll be back in a few minutes. No worries, guys. Thanks for popping in. And guys, as we... Oh, gosh, it's like clipping like anything, isn't it? I think let's try that. I'm so sorry. This is like the sloppiest intro to a stream. You would have thought this is like my first time doing it. Right. If that's too quiet, let me know. But I can adjust. Welcome. Now, hopefully the stream won't just be me messing around with my settings. We are going to be talking about football shirts. We are going to be doing a bunch of things. We're going to be shopping on eBay, which can be really fun. Looking at shirts. I love looking at eBay. It's fun. It's chaotic. There's the chat. There we go. Love to see it. So we're going to be going to eBay, talking about football shirts, talking about collecting football shirts on eBay. And again, I really apologise for the sloppy audio. Am I too quiet, guys, or is this okay? If this is okay, we're good. If it's too quiet, I'm going to be having to fiddle around a bit more. Lafree, good to see you. As I'm going to leave work early, but I suppose I can stay in front of my work PC for a little bit longer. I mean, that is commitment. Sounds good. Good stuff. That is commitment. Staying at work to watch Phil's Corner. I owe you one there for that. Going the extra mile. It's all good. Good stuff. Thank you, guys. Again, I mean, it was only 2 or 3 weeks since we streamed, but I tell you what, I still need to... I'm not quite there with the professional streamer setup. We are going to get there one day. But yeah, we're going to be getting on eBay. We'll also be ranking some football shirts. And I must confess, full confession, the Hot Wall, I'm so behind. And I think at this point in the year, it's unlikely we're going to be able to backdate everything. I've had too many other things going on. However, we will continue for at least the next few weeks. And yeah, it's not been quite as slick as it could have been. But anyway, we're going to be ranking football shirts on our giant tier list. And there's been some great releases, actually. There's been some stuff coming out in the last few weeks, which I think could easily be in our top tier. So we're going to get to that as well. Before we jump to eBay, I will just do a bit of housekeeping. So firstly, I want to say thank you to my patrons. I've got a bunch of people support me through Patreon, help me on my journey, doing what I do, hopefully get into design and all sorts of stuff. Really fun thing actually with the Patreon, which patrons already know. I did an update video for them this week, but for my latest design, I'm going to be getting them involved heavily. So if you want to find out about that and just be part of a small but growing community of passionate shirt fans, shirt collectors around the world, link is in the description. The best thing is you get a shirt as part of your support, and that's at all tiers. But yeah, obviously, you know, just you guys watching the stream now as a support. So if you want to go the extra mile, that's amazing. But equally, just thank you for being here. But that is available if you want to check that out. And of course on YouTube. You know, we're again a small channel here, but if you like what we do, please subscribe. Of course, if you enjoyed tonight's stream as well, you can leave a like, you can leave a comment, all that stuff. You guys know the drill. But for someone like me who is a small content creator, literally every interaction does make a big difference. It really does. So thank you. And let's not waste any time. Let's get to eBay. Now I need to make sure I've got my chat there. I do. All right. As we begin, and I will just 1 second. Did I actually mute myself there? Hang on. Okay. There we go. I was worried I hadn't muted myself. Hello, the Tunisian shirt collector. Good to see you, my friend. Let's have a look, guys. Let's get to eBay. I say this introduction every time, but I will repeat it in case anyone's new here. For the purposes of this, I like to go for a very broad term. So we've gone for literally football shirts or football shirt auctions ending soonest. Many ways to shop eBay. One of the best ways is to do newly listed. You can snipe a lot of cool deals that way. Oh, I like the look of this, but we don't really have time to give it a once over. And that is a real shame because I kind of like it, honestly. Although 20 quid's not cheap. So yeah, we're literally just jumping on here. We're looking for basically whatever we can find that's a decent deal. We're looking at low value stuff, high value stuff. Obviously, a big part of eBay is knowing how to spot a fake, so we'll talk about that as well. Very quickly on this Japan shirt. It's just fun to see a trading shirt, and it looks like a fairly recent one. Fun things to look out for with training shirts, guys. Different sponsors, and you know that can be quite a novelty. At 20 quid, this isn't particularly cheap. Although having said that, this isn't the kind of shirt which I've seen a lot of knocking about. And I quite like this actual this Adidas construction here. Yeah, like with that half the price, or even less, that'll be a really nice pickup. I think at 20 quid that is somewhat steep, but again, I will emphasize that it's not one I've seen a lot of before, and it is in a good size. So that one is a fun kind of item, which could be. Oh, sorry. Thank you so much, Lafree, and I apologise. I had a whole rant there, didn't I? Talking about this shirt. Thank you. And as Lafree has done, jump into chat and with any questions, anything to do with what we're talking about, or it could be anything else, stick in chat. Thank you, Lafree. This is the shirt which I ranted on for a good minute plus. Yeah, so this is the kind of thing, guys, where it can be a really fun pickup. At 20 quid, it's not. I would say the market value of something like this is a bit lower than that, but end of the day, it's not a bad deal. Let's continue. Now, of course, because we've gone for a very broad term, we're going to kind of catch a lot of stuff which isn't of interest, but this sort of stuff is pretty interesting. Now, this particular Germany shirt does have some significant pulls, so that on that basis alone really does shave off quite a bit of value there. So it's not necessarily a deal breaker, but obviously the price is reflective of that. And I would say, to be honest, I'm pretty sure this one did make it into the end of season sales, which I'm pretty sure this shirt was in the 20s at one point. So it is a saving, but the condition is pretty bad. I mean, the seller's been very clear. They've, shown good pictures. And to be honest, at the end of the day, it's poor condition. Oh, they've said it's poor condition. They've showed the pictures. So fair play to Killer Kits, a name we've seen a few times before on the stream. But yeah, that honestly, even in a good size, I mean, if you're going to wear it, I suppose it's not a bad deal. But hey, a fair kind of final price there. What have we got? I mean, talking to Germany, that's a hilarious bootleg. I almost find. I mean, I wouldn't obviously buy it unless it was really really cool. But that's so funny. Honestly, guys, I think there's one of the best things is just laughing at some of these bootleg shirts, and in many ways, this to me is much more enjoyable than obviously just a fake, which looks a bit like the real thing. But I love these kind of obvious bootlegs there of the Teamgeist Germany show. That is hilarious. Lovely stuff. Ian Woods, good to see Ian, says Adidas Atlas Source will say that for German shirt branding tags for 25 quid. Exactly. That's the kind of thing. That's the kind of price range you're looking at for major international team shirts. Unless it's a really, really popular design, you're gonna see them in the end of season sales, and it's worth waiting for. And it's the same thing with like the Spurs shirt. It's a nice. I quite like the Spurs shirt. And were this the kind of the oil spill galaxy design, you'll know the one from, was it the year after or the year or two after? That one would probably be worth 50 quid, I'd say, even as a replica, because that one was popular and was, as far as I know, it sold out each time it went on the club store. It certainly wasn't widely available at the end of the season from memory. Whereas this one, it was fairly generic, but I did really like the colour scheme of this for what it's worth. 50 quid's a bit rich, and I wouldn't typically be in for a Spurs shirt, but having said that, if it's a good deal, it's a good deal. We snapped up an amazing Hummel Spurs shirt the other month, so never say never. Couple of shirts here from the British Heart Foundation, and to be fair, looks like we've potentially got a name set as well, which is fun. Yeah, so that's quite a nice shirt. XL, so outside of our kind of like sweet spot when it comes to sizes, but to be honest, that is quite a nice pickup. Relatively standard Arsenal shirt from this particular season, but the name set does look in very good nick. I quite like that. What is now the old Premier League name and number set. That's quite a nice one. So yeah, that's below market value, certainly. Not by much, but I would estimate this, if you saw this in Classic, it would be probably 60-70 quid, but most other places you're probably looking at something around 40-50, maybe more. Sometimes it's weird, right? Sometimes shirts like this, which you don't think are worth that much, just strangely become a little bit more valuable just because they're not as available some seasons more than others. It's hard to sometimes tell. Sometimes there is just a bit of variance. But anyway, nice pick up there if you're an Arsenal fan. Of course, if you want to, one way to enjoy the stream is to follow along and even outbid me when I try and go in for some of these shirts. Oh, this is a fun one. I like this a lot. Matthew, good to see you, mate. Thank you. Thanks for the message. Yeah, and guys, I do want to say thank you. A good little crowd tonight. The plan is going forward to do this stream every Tuesday unless it's a Champions League night. So if you like football shirts, this is the channel for you. Subscribe, add this to your bookmarks, whatever you do. There will be a bit of a Christmas break. I'll let you know in the next couple of weeks. But basically, we're gonna be on eBay quite a bit going into the new year. We'll be ranking shirts, and there'll be videos on the channel as well. We've got a video coming out this week, hopefully, if I can get the edit done, which is talking about how to tell the difference between Adidas's latest retro remake range and the actual vintage shirt. So a bit of education. It's actually quite fascinating. I've been doing some research, looking into it. So anyway, that's coming up hopefully this week, if not starting next week. Now this shirt is cool. Just quickly, this template is one of Adidas's classic 90s templates. There is some damage to the sponsor, and that name set has the look of an unofficial name set, but I can't say for sure. It might just be that they had a very generic looking name set. But that's a pretty cool item, and it is size large, so it's a good size. Ultimately, it's not one we'll go in for, but this to me is a fun kind of collector's item given the template. I'm pretty sure this what's this team called, Casino Salzburg, I from memory they either dissolved or changed their name, I'm pretty sure, but I might be confusing them with another Austrian team. Regardless, at 31 quid, there's not going to be many of these knocking about. Of course, we can just do a quick kind of Google. again, you've got to take classic football shirts prices with a pinch of salt, but this is the shirt, right? 80 quid. So yes, there is damage, but you'd be happy paying half price, right? So anything under 40 quid, I think it's decent. Nothing crazy, and it's not enough for me to want to bid. I think were I to bid, I would want to get a bit more info. I mean, you can see there, so this is interesting. That I can't read that. What's that? Österreichischen Fußballmeister? Is that some sort of training camp? I don't know. Obviously, with stuff like this, again, that to me has the look of it's not what they would award on pitch, which does typically lower the value. So anyway, regardless, quite a nice item, but I think were we to bid, we'd want to verify, is that name set the one worn by the players or not? Is that a sponsor? There's questions which, if you're going to be spending a fair bit of money, it's not a throwaway, you'd want to understand that, because it does impact value. If that was, let's say that was an official sponsor and or name set, I think I'd, and it, maybe the condition was slightly better, I think you'd easily be paying much more than that, 50 quid perhaps. But if you knew that was unofficial, or in some way not what the players wore, I think at this price it's already kind of on the higher end of that. Even though you look at this, think, oh yeah, that's 80 quid, but of course that, but again, classic football shirts, there's a huge markup. So 30 quid in the end seems pretty reasonable, to be honest. Not bad at all. We continue. A couple of questions in the chat. Lefree says, not sure if you talked about it before, what's your thoughts on 2002 Cameroon sleeve shirt? Lefree, funny you say that. Check out the latest video on the channel. It's as if that was planted there, but check that out, because I did the A to Z of football shirts, it's called, and there was which letter was it? God, I actually forget which one it was now. It was O, wasn't it? O is for the onesie kit, and I talked briefly. Now, I didn't go into detail, but I did talk about the sleeveless kit as well. If you have seen it, Lefree, and you're asking me to expand on that, I would say that in short, it was a fascinating experiment from Puma, and I loved that Puma did it. And it's really cool that it went down in history. Not only did Cameroon, I believe they won the AFCON that year, which is really cool, in the sleeveless kit, but then obviously having to change the kit for the World Cup is really, that's such a fascinating story for kit geeks like me, and I'm sure many of you watching. That sort of story really, it sticks in my mind. It's one of those interesting little little things you can point out. Again, for geeks like myself, it's always enjoyable to see those kind of stories. So anyway, that's a couple of thoughts, Lefree. More could be said though. Now let's have a look at this Japan shirt. I do have this Japan shirt already, so it's not one I'm going to be jumping in to get. And you can see here, this is if this is real, this is the player issue one. Now, one thing we don't have is the inside tag that we'd like to see, which is the smaller one underneath this one. I mean, having said that, I think this is probably going to be worth a message to the seller. There's nothing here which is obviously fake to me, and in all honesty, that looks pretty solid. Good ratings on the seller. Honestly, that I would guess that was real at first glance. Before we do a bit more research, a couple more questions. Matthew says, you may have mentioned this already, but wanted to ask you, did the Boca Junior shirt turn out to be real? Yes, it did, or at least as far as I know, Matthew. So yeah, it was quite small, so it's not one I'm able to wear. But yeah, I actually need to get all my Boca shirts out and do a new picture, because I've added a few since the last time I checked, and I'm planning to, in the next couple of weeks, sell a bunch of my collection, and patrons know this already, and they'll be getting first dibs. And basically, if I can get a few shirts sold, I'm kind of consolidating and looking to pick up some more Boca shirts. In other words, that's kind of my plan going forward. So have them as more of a deliberate focus. They've kind of always been a bit of a focus, but I want to really emphasize that. So there we go. That's coming up potentially. So guys, I mean, I could literally get this out of my cupboard and have a look at it. I won't, because it's kind of stored away, but I will. What I'd like to see is basically message the seller And if memory serves me correct, there is the small inner label is kind of beneath that one basically, which has the product code. And if you can Google it, I mean, reading that label, it honestly looks good. So this could be a very good fake, but I think, again, I'm looking here, everything looks, honestly, this looks good. And this is, if this is the player issue Japan shirt, I mean, it will be hard to find these now, given how popular the design was. Oh, thanks, Matthew, saying Casino Salzburg is now Red Bull Salzburg. That honestly does sound correct. Yeah, so what we want to do, guys, is try and find this shirt. Now, again, because we're looking for the player issue, that does kind of, potentially make things a bit fiddly. So you can see here cult kits with a replica there, and cult kits like classic are quite expensive, so you kind of have to adjust just on Amazon or something. But yeah, so what we're looking at, can we establish in a few quick Google searches some sort of market value? Gotta love that fake that was doing the rounds. Not at 45 quid though. Yeah, so what we're trying to establish is what kind of price are we talking about, and obviously if we only have replicas to go on, that's fine. We can adjust accordingly. So you can see here, this is good. Now this is sold, but this is vintage football shirts. Now I tend to find them slightly better than classic, but they're another big seller. But this is really useful for pricing. So if I'm looking around and market value of football shirts, a funny thing, but it is often just a case of, can you buy it elsewhere, what kind of price you're looking at, and if you can't find the exact shirt, you're looking at similar age, similar kind of teams, and honestly, if you've just been in the game for a while, you just get a feel for it. I don't claim to be an expert on pricing by any means, but I think just get used to just looking for shirts online, and yes, they're expensive, but these little things you can spot sometimes help, and not everything is necessarily crazy expensive. So here you can see 80 quid for a replica there in multiple sizes. 80 quid, which is sold. Again, it's a replica. What's nice about this Japan shirt is it's very easy to tell the difference. You can see the 3 stripes are different. You can see there's like a jock tag detail, which is on the inside neck of the authentic. It's down there on the replica. Again, obviously this is typical classic, 100 quid for a replica. But what's interesting is most of these shirts have sold out, and you can see. So I think it's fair to say a replica even is actually probably around 75 to 80 quid. Maybe a bit less, if we're kind of trying to get a good deal. But basically, if this is real, I think we can say in a good size, and medium is a good size, the Adidas player issue shirts from this particular range didn't actually run too small. I would say it was more of a kind of maybe a half size up, but not really a full size compared to previous years, as with particular brands. So I'm feeling quite good about this one. Ideally, I would like to see the inside label, but one thing which you can, good to see you, Ballum. Welcome back. We're checking out this potential Japan shirt. I say potential because I want to verify if it's real, but it looks good in all honesty. So I'm feeling pretty hopeful, and and the price is looking good so far. So if this is real, guys, Endo Sumo of Japan, yeah, man, great player. Yeah, so this shirt, I would estimate, again, if it's authentic and it's real, it's easily above 80 quid. I say that. I would estimate it to be around 85, maybe even 90, given its popularity in a good size. It doesn't have tags. Obviously, there's little things, but certainly, I would probably pay, ideally under 50. That would be really sweet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to message, and we've only got 20 minutes, but I'm going to see if the seller will let us see the inside label so we can get a look at that product code. Fake shirts are the worst, and it sucks when you're kind of not sure exactly. Just have a quick look at this. You're not sure exactly, if a shirt's real. And honestly, guys, I often do this. Hi there. I don't know, what did I say? Hi there. Anyway, can I have a look? At the small inside label underneath the one. Photographs. Many thanks. Yeah, I mean, obviously they might not respond, but we're going to send the message anyway. And what we will do is just go back here. So we've got, what, 20 minutes. So, okay, so 8:54. We'll come back to this one. What you can do on eBay, of course, and I'm sure many of you know this, if you buy a shirt, eBay's returns policy is actually pretty solid. I've returned stuff over the years, and situations like this where a shirt looks real, I would say, and it turns out to be fake. That's happened to me before. It happens to the best of us and the worst of us. If you do that, it's not bad, honestly. You can basically get your money back if you can prove it, and it's quite easy with most shirts because you just talk about the product label, the product code, and that 9 times out of 10 is all good. But yeah, I like this. Obviously, with 20 minutes to go, the price could shoot up. There's all that possibility, but pretty interesting, and that could be a really cool find. But let's crack on because we've got time. What else can we find? I've got oh, here we go. This whale shirt could be interesting. Now, minimal pictures, it's fair to say, but if we do a quick search for this, maybe compare pictures with what we see online. Honestly, I love this description. Warners aside, failed to qualify 2002 World Cup. They did beat Germany 1-0 in Cardiff. It wasn't all doom and gloom. That's great. I love that item description there. Little things like that just make eBay a lot of fun. Yeah, this could be a fun pickup. I mean, obviously, bidding's pretty low, but these kind of Kappa shirts from this era, from the Kappa Combat era, are pretty fun, and I'm somewhat partial to Wales. My wife is part Welsh, so they're one of various teams I follow or have an affinity for. So this one, let's watch it. Maybe let's just have a quick look. Again, there's literally one picture in there, so we can't really get a good look. But let's just kind of check out the badge at least compared to online and see how that looks. Daredevil, good to see you. Says have this one, and then we send away jersey with the 3D origami. Yeah, man, that is. That same. That is Japan shirts are so good. They I was asked recently what my kind of favourite international team is for shirts, and I had to say Japan. Like, quite easily, it's Japan, both historically and more recently. So you can see this isn't a rare shirt, particularly. If it's on Classic for 70, you could say quite easily. I usually say at least 20%, if not more, off Classic. You could probably knock a third off, to be honest, but something like 40 to 50 quid, probably 40 to 45 would be a reasonable price. Nothing on that picture is putting me off, and I would be somewhat confident that's real. So at this price, obviously that's ridiculous. It will probably go up, but if we can get that for under 20, I think I'll be happy with under 20 for that one. Pardon me. And for this one, I think we're again hoping it's real. I think it is. This one I'd probably want to stretch to about 50. So a couple of potential pickups there. One, again, I need to make sure I don't forget that. We'll keep an eye on that. Do remind me, guys, before in case I forget. So yeah, a couple of international shirts there. Let's have a look. We weren't going to pay over the odds on them. Sticking with the international theme, it is an international evening. We've got is it the current or the most recent? I'm trying to think if USA have had a World Cup shirt since. Yeah, it is the most recent one, isn't it? I must admit, I didn't really like this one, and even at 10 quid, which isn't a bad price at all. If anything, it's a very good price, but it's not actually one I'd probably bid for. At 10 quid, I would be tempted, so I will leave it on because it's obviously one you could sell on. No kind of confirmation of its authenticity here, so in that sense I probably would just leave it, but nothing there is immediately kind of shocking me. Nice one, Buck. Good to see you, mate. So yeah, USA shirts, they've had a lot better. Did we say State United? Bit cheesy, but we'll let them off. What else have we got? We'll hop over to the Hot Wall very soon, guys. Boxing a bunch. I bought a bunch of shirts. Chris is going to be good for me. Yeah, good stuff. Nothing like a nice present to yourself. That's eBay on my phone there. Very good. Reminding me about Japan. So yeah, a couple of potential bids here, guys. We'll keep them open in the background. This Real Madrid Kelme shirt is a fun one, but you can see here, I was going to say there's probably something off here. Or at least based on the fact there's no bids. That print is very faded, almost like it's been printed on the inside of the shirt. But I'm not honestly an expert on this era, and certainly of Kelme shirts in general, but I mean, I wouldn't say that looks too bad. The crest looks pretty good there, the embroidery. So this is a potentially fun item, but again, with that, and because of this, it looks like it's a sublimated print, but I don't know what's going on there. So we won't go in for it, but someone who knows more about Real Madrid shirts might be able to snag a good deal and stick a genuine name set or a thicker name set, a more what's the word, opaque name set on top. Catching up on the comments. Daredevil says, are you a fan of the curved hem on some Adidas players kits, or you prefer a straight cut? Good question. I'm more of a straight cut hem guy myself, and that is a very niche thing to have an opinion on, isn't it? But I'm not the biggest fan of the curved look, but there is something to be said about there's a novelty factor to having player issue shirts that are obviously different to the replicas, if nothing else, because it just gives a bit more differentiation. So in that sense, the curved hem is kind of fun, but I'd probably go for the straight hem. But no strong feelings, but that's where I would lean. And Lavrie said, Phil, is pattern location a good sign of a fake or not? For example, I'm looking at a 22-23 France wear shirt, but there's no zoomed in picture or text. So one thing to note with pattern location, it can actually be a bit of a red herring. One of the things which you often see is if let's say you've got a repeating pattern, it's quite common in the industry for shirts to be cut out of basically a large piece of material, and so the pattern location can actually vary. So obviously if you've got something like a sash, for example, that should be in the same spot every time, the same thickness, give or take, and it should scale well across sizes. But for a lot of shirts, especially when you're looking at different sizes, but even just different batches, there's an element of randomness. So you might look at, there's a shape behind the crest, but then on another shirt from the same design, it might be different. So in short, Lavrie, it can actually be useful, but it also often isn't. It depends on the shirt. But if it's a repeating pattern, I can see the pattern placement looks a little different. Yeah. So again, if it's a repeating pattern, I would say that I wouldn't worry too much. But you're looking for me, it would be like the quality of the pattern, the details. Is it as crisp? Is it, so not necessarily the placement of elements, but it's like things like, is it a bit blurry? Are the colours a bit washed out? That would be more indicative of a fake than the actual placement. I hope that helps. Please follow up if there's any more you have any more questions. Just want to comment on this forest shirt. So this is, it's amazing. There's always this kind of crop of 90s kind of Umbro kits, and they sell pretty well. I mean, obviously, again, these are quite desirable, but it's kind of quite a notably low rating, so I would be a bit concerned, even though there's nothing which is off-putting here. But you can see here, 100 quid, and to be honest, that maybe this is a particularly popular one, I don't know, but a bit of action there. Not one we're going for. Thank you, Box. It's great ASA video. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think it turned out to be a bit of a beast, but I was happy with the final outcome. And Boxing MLS had a big sale on authentic version shirts. I got the Portland away, nice. Atlanta as well, Austin, Cincinnati. Very nice. Yeah, I took advantage. Here, Sports Direct had a bit of a random sale, or they had a sale, but the Seattle Bruce Lee shirt was on for very cheap, and it was like 30 quid for the Authentics. So I snapped that up immediately. This is a pretty fun item. Now at 30 quid, it's a little bit rich, but I do kind of like it. The large crest there. If that was like half the price, I'd be all over that. And I mean, I'm kind of still tempted, but it's 30 quid's a bit much. But spoke of Japan, that's pretty fun. And on this shirt, not much more activity, so we might want to stick in the bid there soon. That's cool. But yeah, what shirts are you guys looking out for Black Friday, or has anyone picked up stuff like Brock has there? Always interested to hear. And for all the kind of positives and negatives, there are negatives around Black Friday. It can feel a bit overwhelming. It is a time to keep an eye out for deals if you're in the market for something. This is a fun Anderlecht shirt. I don't remember having this template, so let's have a look, because there's a couple of things we want to establish here. We want to make sure that Anderlecht actually had the shirt and it wasn't like a training shirt, because I mean, it looks like it. Where are we? There we are. So let's have a look. 2007 away. Yeah. Okay. So that was the shirt. This is oldfootballshirts.com, by the way, guys. My go-to site for referencing teams' histories, but there's a bunch of others out there. Again, 30 quid. I mean, we can make an offer. That to me is on the higher end of what I'd want to pay for this. I probably will leave this. If we don't win the other auctions, maybe we could sneak in an offer, something like, lowball an offer, and see if they'll take it at kind of 15. I think at that price I'd probably take it. But yeah, I mean, it's a nice shirt. What size is it? That also is important. It's a medium, so it's a good size, to be fair. Medium or large is usually what I'm looking for. Yeah, that's funny. LaFreeze, I honestly had no idea Black Friday was outside of the US. I guess capitalism knows no borders. It's been a thing for many years here in the UK, but it's definitely increased, significantly over the last 10, 15 years, or at least it feels like it has, and it's pretty relentless. I mean, now obviously people have been doing it for what do they call it, Cyber Monday or whatever, and I just make up any name, don't they? But yeah, been a bunch of stuff, and it is a bit much, really. Now, what's funny about this Japan shirt, I used to own this, and I kind of regret selling it because I think it is actually a really fun design. I would be tempted, but 50 quid again, it's kind of on the higher end. But what I'll do is I will do a bit of research, because maybe, again, if we can't find it for anywhere near that price, it could be worth a bid. To me, that's more than I'd probably want to pay, but it's probably less than you'd expect to find it online. So it's one of those where it's kind of on the higher end, but it is one on my list, my never-ending list of shirts I'd like to get. And again, I had this before and sold it, but I really actually like this. Is one of my favorites from this era. It was a bit of a down era for shirts, but look at the detail in there. Yeah, it's a personal favorite. So at 50 quid, it's quite a lot, but it is in a good size. Yeah, so I kind of like this one. Let's do some research, guys. Let's see if we can find it online. Before I do that, I will catch up with the comments and have a drink, because I've been talking for a long time. Wow, that feels good. Where are we? Jumping back, Brock says, I always found a good deal on the 93 Bayern. Very nice. That's a good one. That is a good one. A really classic one with the yellow and green there. And also talking about a couple of other shirts with the template. Yep, your Phil's Corner shirt. Nice. Good stuff. Yep. What do you think, Brock? What do you think in person? Deadlift says, similar to Bruce Lee kit, wish Nike would re-release the away China. Yeah, man, wouldn't that be like an obvious way to just make a bunch of money? I mean, obviously, I'm guessing China, the federation would be a bit upset, but man, if they did that, they could easily sell it for full price, and it would sell like crazy. Yeah, it's funny that I'm assuming they just can't, or maybe they don't want to and obviously there's a bit of mystery as to why it was discontinued in the first place. But anyway, yeah, that's a good shout. And Ian saying, for Black Friday, I ordered last season's Birth of the Way, the black with the coloured patches, complete with Ivan Tony. Those for 22 quid. Can't argue with that at all. The free says, I remember there's some people who need to line outside stores at night before Black Friday. Now Black Friday is 2 weeks long. Indeed. Brother shirt up for the club. Good stuff, Ian. David, good to see David. Says, have you ever seen the Spain warm-up? Half kit, half warm-up. It's too pricey for me, even though I'm a Spain kit obsessed. Now, unfortunately, I don't think it's going to let you... Okay, yeah, I was going to say, I don't think the chat lets you post in links, but let me copy that and let's see if we can find it. I'm assuming this is on eBay, David. If not, I can find it elsewhere. Oh, wow. That is cool. That is very cool. To be honest, man, I really like that. Now, this is something I've never seen before, in all honesty. It's obviously quite expensive, but I really, really like that. So shout out to David. I mean, I honestly have no recollection, and if I'm honest, I really, really... I mean, the 9 looks a bit lopsided. I guess they have to kind of fit it in, don't they? That's awesome. That is a very cool item. Yeah, pretty expensive for me to get, although I could ship it to someone. I don't know, a bunch of people in the States, but really cool. It's pretty good. I'm Spain obsessed. Honestly, you've completely like knocked me for 6 there, David. This shirt, this kit shirt is brilliant. I mean, to be honest, just looking at this, I have so many questions. I want to ask, what other teams had this particular template? Obviously, this is on the Teamgeist era, but it looks awesome. I just have no recollection of this at all. And if I'm honest, I do kind of want to bid for this. I mean, it seems very expensive, but it does have the tags. It's the kind of thing where... yeah, that's awesome. Genuinely, I just love it. Look at the panels there. Okay, this is almost made me just like, loss of words. Absolutely brilliant piece. Despite the high price, I do think this could be something in which I try and pick up and maybe again send to a friend if I can get it for cheaper, because that is quite a lot. And to be honest, I've never seen this before, so it could honestly be around its value. But I would hope to pay a lot less for that. But that's awesome. Okay, that's one to tuck into the maybe or check out later pile, shall we say? Teamgeist formation is class. It is indeed, and I mean, I genuinely just can't get over that. That's awesome. Love the colours. Obviously, Torres speaks for itself. Man, good stuff. That genuinely, I just honestly, guys, I've never seen that training wear construction before, but it is brilliant. I might have to tweet about that tomorrow. I might stick that on the list. Right, where were we? I've still hopelessly behind. Oh yeah, we had the Japan show, didn't we? So with a minute to go before I get back to the chat, let's. I think if we can get this for under 40 quid, I'll be happy. And what's funny is I'm doing this. You guys could obviously outbid me if you'd like to, but I do. I mean, let's do it, because if we can get it for that price, I think. I mean, so what's funny? I've already got this shirt, so I would be selling it on, and I think I could make 20 quid maybe on it, maybe a bit more. I make no kind of make it no secret that I do sometimes buy to sell stuff, and it's not a huge profit by the time you take into account the time to sell it, the cost of shipping it. That's not a big profit, but it's enough where I'd say, well, you know what, I'm pretty confident I could sell this on either through Twitter or back on eBay, and make 20 quid. Again, I'd happily say, if I had this one, stick it on for 60, 70 quid, maybe more. And it's little things, but I mean, the margins are small, but because I've already kind of photographed this, I know that I could easily kind of, stick some photos on, which are a bit more kind of higher res, and so whatever. If we get this one, That'll be a cool pickup. Let's see what happens in the next 30 seconds. I can catch you with some comments. Boxes haven't got yours yet. Okay, cool. I think it's on pre-order. No worries there, Brock. Matthewson was looking for AFC Wimbledon. Current third shirt with the full manager sponsor. That is great. Currently sold out. Yeah, hopefully they restock that. The Wimbledon shirts in this season are very good. Yeah, some more comments on Spain. The Free says, question for Phil and the viewers. What do you say to the significant other thinks you buy too many jerseys? Honestly, for me, one of the best things is to then kind of maybe sell some shirts to kind of make sure there's stuff coming out as well as in. And I think just be as transparent as possible. You know, it sounds funny, but like, oh, there we go. 34 quid. Very happy with that. Assuming that, again, if it's real, that's a great price. And I'm really confident we could sell that for double, genuinely. At least 50 quid. So that could just be a really nice little money maker. And it's just a great shirt. To be honest, the other option is this might be a giveaway price, to be honest, for the Patreon group. I do, you know, these are the kind of shirts which I will chuck on as a giveaway. So to be honest, maybe I'll make this a giveaway prize. I might do that because it is a really cool kit. Nice. There we go, guys. Again, we'll check it's real when it gets here, but I am feeling pretty good about that. 34 quid. So, you know, 30, what's that? 30, just under 40 quid all in. Good stuff. Good stuff. A nice little pickup for the stream. Again, jumping to the chat. The Free says sweet Spain kit. Yeah, it's awesome. Do you see the new Brisbane Roar shirt? I don't think I have. The native Brisbane will surely go straight to the highest bit of the whole wall. Oh yes, I did. And you know what, Ian? We will get to that very shortly because it is very good. We've got the whale share as well. I think what I'll do is I'm going to stick in a bit of. Let's go for 8 quid. 8 quid. Random. Oh gosh, there we go. Random bid. And if we get that, we'll be happy. If not, no biggie. But I'll stick the bid in, and to save me kind of worrying about when it ends, I'm still struggling to get over this. In all honesty, I need to basically do a bit more research, find some of these in the wild, and I really do think that's going to be the kind of thing where, if I can get it, if I can shave a bit of money off, and obviously find a friend in the States to post to, because 23 quid's not the worst, to be fair, but I'm actually thinking about it. Maybe that actually would work. Could be touch and go. Anyway, it's been a busy stream. I think we'll leave now. We've won the other Japan shirt. We'll leave this one, but it's the kind of thing where if we had a bit, a bit more time, we'd maybe look at, again, basically trying to find out, is the shirt on the market at all at the moment? Is it the kind of thing where you can get it for this price? But that seems pretty, kind of on the higher end of what I'd expect to pay for it. Right. I think that's a good place to leave it with eBay. Yeah, Boxers would have said it to me. I might just keep it. Indeed. Which is a fair way. Has to be the Kappa era. Yeah, Dave, the Kappa era ones are really sweet. But I did pick up, and it's a fun one. But if I'll show off. And it was one of my weirdest shirt pickup stories. I got this whale shirt in an Adidas store of all places. It wasn't player issue like this one, but it was the replica of this one for way under market value. This was in Paris in the Adidas store, and they near the time of the World Cups, they had a big kind of vintage rack. Basically, everything on there was it 80 euros or 100 euros, something like that, and they had one of these 80s shirts on there, so way less than it should have been sold for. And that was one of my best ever pickups, kind of value wise, and it's probably one I'll keep hold of because, again, given the Little Wales connection, and it's just an awesome old Adidas shirt, one of the oldest shirts in my collection actually. So that was pretty cool. Yeah. Spain shirt is free shipping in the US, guys. You're okay. Basically, when the stream ends, and again, if anyone wants to step up, go for it. I kind of, you know, when you see something, you think, I really need to have that for the collection. This is one of those situations where if I can basically establish how much these things are going for, I think this has to be. And yeah, great stuff. That's completely taken over my I can't think about anything else now. Oh dear. That's really nice. A5. Yeah, 3-1. You make me regret share. Mate, David, jump in by all means. If you want to have a piece of the action, which you quite rightly you shared with us all, so it would only be fair. Right. I could put energy. Thank you, Buck. Yeah, so I think basically I'm gonna see if it's what sort of price I can kind of get an offer in for, and it's definitely something I'm interested in, but we'll see. I don't know how available those are. I don't know if they're actually rare at all. I've not seen it before though, so it kind of gets me excited. Kind of, you know, when you see something like that, I've never seen that before, and it looks pretty cool. We'll see. Right, let me open that Photoshop, and we'll spend the next half hour to an hour ranking some football shirts, including the Brisbane one, which we talked about. Just as we go on, guys, I want to say thank you for stopping by. It's been a fun stream. There's been a lot of activity in the chat. It really, you know, this is the reason I do is for you guys. It's to hang out. It's to chat about shirts, and I appreciate a good number of you stopping by. As I've said, are we still going? I feel like I've just. Oh yes, I think that's my computer opening Photoshop. I don't know if you lost me for a minute there. Yeah, as I said at the start of the stream, there's a bunch of ways you can kind of say thanks. One of them is just by liking this video, and if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And you can go even further and support me through Patreon. That is a way to support me as a content creator. Excitingly, you get a shirt as part of your support, which is one I designed with the wonderful brand Icarus, and it's a really crazy shirt, which I was really happy with how it turned out. You can get a number on the back as well for no extra cost, so check that out. Brock said the seller has a similar file, so what? Okay. Let's have a look. There's a Germany one. Oh my days. Why have I never seen these formation? I mean, to be fair, the Spain one is definitely the best one. Let me just open it up and then I'll share my screen. Oh gosh. It's a silly thing, but I can't help but get excited about this sort of stuff. Again, I'm just checking what else we've got before I share. Yeah, nice. So hopefully you can see now. They've got a France one, not nearly as exciting. Obviously, no names set, but yeah, they've got, and the Germany one, a similar story. But oh man, I just really like that template. Right, let's get Photoshop open, get the hot wall. We'll jump in, we'll rank some shirts. Good stuff. Yeah, nice one. What a fun tangent. Yeah, as I say, I think I'll be tweeting about that one tomorrow, and basically just singing its praises, because that is fun. Again, I hope I've not dropped there. My computer's struggling a bit. Here we go. Right, the hot wall is nearly open. I'll just quickly make sure all is in order before we switch, and we will rank some shirts, guys. We will rank some shirts on our tier list. There's only going to be, a handful of these before the year ends, so will we see a few more in our top tier? Here is the hot wall. Very simply, my favourite shirts on the right side, the hottest shirts of the year, including the Phil's Corner shirt there. Again, I'm a little bit stuttery. I think that is just my processing power, to be fair, when I'm streaming and multiple screens, and we'll let the computer off. My least favourite shirts on the left, and to be fair, this year, the standard's been pretty good. Obviously, as I said at the start of the stream, there's a lot of gaps here, and quite simply, I've just not been able to keep up. We had a bit of a break over summer. I was away for quite a few weeks, so if your favourite shirt isn't on here, I do apologise. I might be able to do requests at some point, but I'm unsure if I'll be able to. Basically, let's come to my favourite site for keeping up to date with new releases, Football Shirt Culture. Quite simply, these guys, it's just a nice, clean, easy to use site, and they get the majority of stuff, not everything, but the majority of stuff is on here. There's that Brisbane shirt, which we will comment to very, very shortly. Just quickly on the Welsh shirt, we're still the highest bidder on that one. Very good. And yeah, great stuff tonight with the Teamgeist training wear as well, and the win on Japan. So anyway, let's come to some shirts. So let's start with the Offenbach kind of whiteout design. Not too much to say about this one. I mean, it looks fine, and it's kind of nice when you, for all the kind of frustrations around this Nike template, I don't mind it when they really kind of let the detailing on the Drive for ADV spec shirts show through, and in that sense, it's a nice way of doing it. I can see what looks like a decent kind of jock tag detail, so it's fine. It's not too exciting with the shot of this. It really, whether it's blackout or single color monotone, it's kind of, the novelty is slightly wearing old now. So again, my computer is a bit slow. I think it probably just is a bit. I probably just need to restart it, or should have restarted it, and I've just pasted it into the text section. Great start. Let's get that all the way up there. Let's create another folder. We'll call it day 12, and we will, or day 13 I should say. So I mean, there's little things which I do like, and I do like the crest application. I quite like that it's a cutout kind of style, and again, the fact they've kind of let the player spec, the Drive for ADV. Gosh, we are a bit slow. I hope I'm okay sound wise, guys. If I am not, for any reason, then I do apologise. And it looks like we've copied the whole group. Oh gosh, it's not going well so far. Group and contents, thank you. There we go. Yeah, so that's the Offenbach shirt. I mean, I think we're kind of. I would probably still stick it in the higher end of the candle tier, which is our third tier, because I do like some of the elements. Oh gosh, come on, computer. I know it's hard opening Photoshop, using Photoshop, and streaming at the same time. Oh man. If it's going to be like this the whole evening, that's going to be annoying. Right, there's the Offenbach shirt. Let's come to what could be the main event of tonight, which is the Brisbane Roar Indigenous jersey. Now, it's quite commonplace for teams in Australia to release shirts which celebrate Indigenous culture, and indeed, across other sports, they often have kind of weeks where they'll do, or even multiple weeks, where clubs will do this sort of thing. So it's always fun to see. I mean, little things which I would probably want to. I don't love one button collars. That's just a small thing, but the overall effect is very strong. And they've kind of opened the colorway, opened the kind of book, or the playbook, I should say, when it comes to colors. I think when you've got a heavily patterned shot like this is quite a nice way of incorporating the logos. Bit less, I think, again, and I'm being picky, but the reason I don't think I can quite put this in the volcano tier, I want to, again, the collar's one thing, which is more of a personal preference than anything else, but this main sponsor, I think you could tighten that up a bit, a bit more like the New Balance logo incorporation there. Dare I say it, the crest, I'd probably want a bit of consistency. Like, I think, I'm being picky. It's a very, very nice shirt, and to be honest, even the back, obviously it's been playing for the number, but they've got a bit of the pattern there. It's going to go just below, like here for me. It is a very fun shirt. It is busy, as David says. But I do think these are the kind of shirts which do really make a collection. When you've got this kind of out their design. As much as anything else, it's the story. That's that's kind of what, again, with a crazy kind of kit like this, what's the story behind it? And the fact that it's got the connection with with indigenous design of some sort. I couldn't speak much more to it than that, but clearly there's something behind the design, and I think the execution is pretty good. Couple of little things keeping it. I mean, I'm going to stick it right there. It's not quite into my top tier, but I'm very picky. There's some shirts here which are, very, very good. And to be honest, I probably should just bump up. We come to the Thailand shirt. Now, Warwick's is a brand who are very... I want to say they only work in Thailand. I might be wrong. That's the only time I've come across this particular brand before. Quite a fun design to be. It's a little bit, it's not too... it's nothing well beaten. But I do kind of like the sleeve pattern. And, the kind of pixel style. I think has legs. It's decent. Has a look at the kind of, the Admiral England shirt a little bit. But that's honestly pretty solid. I would say that's not far behind the Offenbach shirt, which we rated at the start. And... yeah, I don't mind that at all. I mean, what is this? Is this the third shirt? I think it was. Yes, it's the third kit. So, international third kits are a funny thing, really. They're rarely needed, but that's solid from the brand. And again, I think for it to go a bit higher, honestly, it probably just, if you had a bit more of those elements. On other areas of the kit, I think it could be a lot nicer, but I'm going to say around this area. That's kind of where I'm landing, and it is overall pretty decent. Looks like something Bappe would come out with, says Daredevil. To be honest, it does kind of have that vibe, doesn't it? Let's come to Cork City. Now, Cork City have a real heritage with Adidas, like a number of teams in Ireland. And many of the best Adidas shirts of all time were actually Cork City shirts. Cork City had templates of many of the best Adidas designs of all time, or the most popular Adidas designs of all time. This one is not up there. It's very, very simple. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's has the look of a teamwear shirt, or certainly not anything to write home about. Yes, it's in their colours, but this is kind of below average. Shirts of this, and this is kind of... I forgot to move the brands around. Rewind. One thing we like to do as well, which I almost forgot, was we're kind of tracking brand performance. So we're going to nudge Nike down slightly. And then who did we have next? Next up was... I forget already, even though we've only just done it. Oh yeah, it was the New Balance. So let's give New Balance some love. Again, what we're doing here is basically roughly kind of averaging out a brand's performance. And then we had the Warwick shirt. And I don't know if Warwicks are actually on our list, to be honest. I don't think they are. So that's them there. And I think I'm just scanning over. And of course, if they are, then this is, we don't want to resize. We want to duplicate. I don't think Warwicks are... Come on. Again, my computer's... it definitely feels like it needs to be restarted. Let's get them on the board. Is it double R? Man, was it one R? Let's have a look. It's two R's. There we go. So that's Warwick's, and then we'll again. Gosh, it's really not having it, is it? Then we come to Cork City. Yeah, this is one of the things you get with a big brand. Obviously, there's benefits. There's the brand name. Typically, your distribution is going to be a bit better, and I'm sure the price is competitive. But from a pure design perspective, it's often not great news if you're not in top couple of tiers. But it is what it is. It's nothing wrong with the kit, but it is very, very, very vanilla. I think we have to put this pretty... I mean, I would probably put this in the bottom tier, in all honesty. sometimes, like, because of a particularly nice colorway or detail, teamwear can actually, you know, rise up the ranks, but that's going to go there. Looks. Ian says, trouble is, course shit without getting sponsorship. It's course shit without getting sponsorship. Well said, Ian. Well said. Yeah, it's hard when you have such a good historical sponsor. Now the away kit does have a really, I mean, it's a very kind of unusual color scheme. I kind of like the look of the pink, at least under the lights there. And this is an Adidas template which is lesser used. Dare I say, I've not seen this much at all. I don't think it's bespoke. I feel like I have seen it, but it's not, to be honest, it's not ringing a specific bell, to put it one way. So this is an example where actually I kind of like this. Now, I don't know if there's any history with this color combo, but again, particularly in the light, I kind of like it looking a bit kind of peachy there. It's a bit more vibrant, but on this shot, on the retail picture. But my overall impression of this shirt is pretty good. So I'm actually going to give this, dare I say it, it's almost going to go in the, I think this is a high candle tip. And this is funny because, again, we spoke about the downsides of Adidas, but this is at the very least the combination of the pattern, which isn't one which has been overused by Adidas, at least so far. Of course, it could change. I actually kind of like this one. This is by far the most interesting, and often the aways are more interesting. But I do think Brandon and team have done a good job there. I'm trying to resize it. There we go. So yeah, this one actually, it feels about right. You know, it feels good here. I actually kind of rate it. Good stuff. The white trim is a nice touch. Yeah, like, again, I think I like it more in these shots when you see like the colour there. To me, like a little bit softer. That is nice. Here, looking a bit more, that pink is kind of, to be honest, the more I look at that, I think, oh, maybe I would roll it back a little bit. But were that pink a little bit more like the shots under the lights there, I think that would definitely be a contender for the Flames tier. Lafree, is there a way to view the whole way outside the stream? In all honesty, I haven't sorted that out, and I must apologise for that, because it is, you know, it is fun to kind of scan through. What I need to do, Lafree, and please remind me about this. I will try and get this posted either after the stream or kind of tomorrow. I can post it on Twitter. I can post the image file, which you'll be able to zoom in on. And I was doing that previously every week. I've slacked off a bit there. But yeah, that's probably the best way, I think, because it is a big file. But if I just export the JPEG kind of in good quality and like 100%, like you'll be able to look at it at this kind of level. And there's a ton of stuff on there. And it is kind of fun to see. You might see some shirts which you've not seen before. Yeah. So thank you for that reminder. And I need to do that in short. Before we go any further, oh gosh, I've just lost it. There we go. Adidas, where are you? Where are you? There they are. Now, both the Cork City shirts, I think because of that, let's do a bit of a... my computer is... Apologise, the performance has not been top drawer tonight. I don't really know why, in all honesty. Let's just do a bit of a shifty. We'll get an e-balance up there. Let's move back up a bit, and then we'll get Adidas around there. I thought I'd also... Yeah, I thought we'd actually... I need to probably go through and change them all to regular thickness. Anyway, I am digressing. Let's do a few more, guys. Let's do a few more shirts. Just quickly on the Wales shirt, another win. So 2 wins. We got the Japan shirt, we got the Wales shirt, and we are certainly going to inquire about this this Spain shirt, this training wear shirt. So a few busy night on eBay. Let's come to the Copenhagen shirt, and this one was shared in the Slack group, in the Poetry Slack group the other day. And this is just a really nice use of, you know, what I believe. Well, I think this is a template. I think this is not bespoke to the team, but love the colours on this one. It looks really good. Like, it's a really good looking shirt. It's funny how there's been a few instances of, seems to be Scandinavian teams typically, making really good use of lower level Adidas contracts. I say lower level because this isn't, tier 1, even though Copenhagen are a big team, but they're not getting the kind of fully bespoke kits, but there's a great detail there. That's just a really attractive piece of Adidas. I'm going to say teamwear, but again, if this is bespoke, I do apologise, but I believe this isn't. But it's a bit like the Cork City one, where I don't recall seeing many instances of this pattern, so it's possible it is bespoke, and if it is, I apologise for the misinformation. But I would definitely say, just judging it as a shirt, I think I would be tempted to sneak this in at the bottom of the Flames tier. I really like it. So again, similar to the Cork shirt, when I look at the colours here, I really like. It's funny, just a bit of editing. It's funny how much you can change the perception of a shirt. So here, I like it's a slightly more kind of pinky red. That's perfect. Then you look at the retail picture. Okay, probably more like what it actually is. A bit more red, a bit more on the maroon end of the spectrum. I'd rather it was a bit like this. I mean, obviously I'm also looking at it through a screen, and there's all sorts of things to consider. But anyway, I like this one, guys. I actually do think I would rate this one in the Flames tier. It's, the lower end of the tier, but it's. I mean, we'll go there, and I feel like that is. You could justify having it a bit higher. David said that's very nice for FCK. Ian says Copenhagen is nice. Sponsor listed down. I want my Copenhagen shirt to be sponsored by Carlsberg. Indeed, Carlsberg now. Can't argue with you, Ian. Not a great sponsor, it must be said. Oh, sorry, did you lose me for a second? My computer is struggling tonight. I feel like there's a background process going on or something. It's not having it. Anyway, let's come to Cardiff, and this is I believe this is going to be worn on pitch. We don't rank shirts typically on the hot wall, or we try not to rank shirts that aren't worn on pitch, and I think this one is going to be worn on pitch. But then limited edition, collaboration, streetwear brand. I'm going to rank it as if it is being worn on pitch. And obviously if it isn't, then I can either take it off or just leave it. This one very much falls into the map trend, which is kind of come and gone, so it feels a bit late to the party there, I would say. And if I was being critical, I'm not the biggest fan of this element. Now, I believe this is the name of the collaborative partner, IBY, inspired by you. So sure, yeah, that is what it is. But I would definitely say that the overall look of the shirt is decent, and it's a small thing, but I much prefer. It's such a silly thing. Long-time viewers know my personal gripe with one button colours. This has 2 buttons, so it's already avoided that. That to me is way better than a 1 button. So there's an interesting. It's like the Welsh flag there as well. I see on the back. Just a place to put it. Yeah, it's an okay shirt, but I think the map thing is kind of, for me, I'm kind of over it. What I think would make this shirt look 10 times better and would be a potential high Flames tier candidate were this pattern embossed. That to me would be awesome. It's a lot harder to produce and more expensive to produce than a sublimated design. But that would, I think, even though it would be a map design, I'm kind of over maps. But so it's a good shirt, but I think it's for the reasons outlined, it's more in the kind of mid-canal tier, which is a shame. And again, as I've said before on stream, the average line, if you want to put it that way, is kind of lower mid of the canal tier, should we say? So to be honest, even though it's the 3rd tier, there are above average shirts in this tier. Also, I forgot to move Adidas, didn't I? Let's just do that in light of the Copenhagen kit. But I've got a few spots. Yeah, so New Balance, they've done some good stuff this year. There's definitely, even though they've lost a lot of their big contracts over recent years, they are hanging around, and I would say are poised to continue to actually do some good stuff. So that's Cardiff. I think I want to go around here for that one. So solid, but not really, not one which I'll go on my way to add to the collection. Put it that way. And as such, New Balance, I mean, it's getting pretty congested here. We'll just bump them down a bit. Yes, indeed, their old kits of them were pretty good, David. LaFreeze's map's definitely overdone, but I think it's a cool design for local fans. It is a cool design. Now, honestly, I'm very picky, but there's elements to enjoy there for sure. Now, some really fun shirts and some potential, I'm going to say it now, some potentially very highly ranked shirts. But let's come to CA Tigre from, I apologise, I probably butchered the name there, but that's from Argentina. Kappa shirts have a lot going for them typically, and this is a pretty smart shirt. I think it's funny because the kind of more muted tones here has the look of a kind of anniversary shirt, and indeed it is a special edition shirt, so with the gold and the kind of, it's got that feel, and it's pretty nice. I do actually quite like, it's a small thing, but this kind of aesthetic with the kind of pinstripes, nice crest application, nothing crazy. Date on the back, I don't know what they did in 2019, but they obviously won something. The sponsor's pretty big, but this all coloured well. This one has the look of a high counter tier for me. I think in terms of I think the base style is quite nice. And it's funny with the colours, like this is obviously quite, so compared to the Copenhagen shirt, I slightly prefer that colourway. So that's a little thing, this has the kind of classy, again, the anniversary vibe going for it. And I would fully understand if some people actually would have that higher than the Copenhagen shirt. There's a nice spot there, and that feels about right, and that's almost dead exactly where how Kappa are performing as a brand for me. So that's pretty good. I like that. Let's just switch that over. We'll stick Tigre there. And then if we move back, we have Club Lanús, and these guys are working with Araya for another commemorative shirt. Now this has very much the look of a naughty shirt, which is kind of fun. You've got that kind of vibe with the piping on the frame in that chest panel there, and and even just the central elements. That was there's a lot. A lot about this construction which feels quite noughties, and that's kind of fun. That has a bit of a throwback feel. Similar kind of colorway, obviously, to the last shirt. Not one which I would probably rank any higher than the Canal tier, but I think this is similar. Dare I say it maybe slightly above the Tigre shirt. I do, again, there's something nostalgic about the construction here, which I do like. Man, performance has been poor from the technology tonight. Need to step it up in future weeks. But anyway, so Lanús, I think, something around here. Let's go here. And Araya, where are you? It's funny that's almost exactly the same again. We'll stick them there. A brand, again, like New Balance, who are poised to continue doing great stuff. They have a big portfolio. There's a lot to like. Martin Tipabuso, go. Indeed, Federico. You cannot. Well, anyone who doesn't know who Martin Tipabuso is, check out my documentary with Belgrano, or on Belgrano, I should say. It's on the channel. We did it earlier this year, and I spoke to Martin. He's a real inspiration of mine. Great designer for Araya in South America. Now, this Santos shirt is so close to being almost perfect, but I must say I love pretty much everything about it. It's Umbro in Brazil, you guys know that, and it's funny that they've done a Japan theme. That seems to be what everyone's doing now. That sleeve detail to me is very tacky. The look of it, even the application, the little kind of sticker style, it kind of ruins what to me would be a slam dunk Volcano t-shirt. I think it possibly still is, because I do love so much about it. The colorway, the fact that the pattern goes all the way on the back. I mean, it has to be, oh gosh, that was loud. It has to be a Volcano t-shirt. Sorry if I blew your ears off there. And it's funny, like the inspiration with this was something like, what was it? The inspired by the tours the team have done in Asia. That's a pretty funny link. But again, that is a little bit, to me, that just, if you just took that away from the kit, I actually think this could be easily a kind of top, like, we're talking one of my favorite shirts of the year. It's still probably going to be in the Volcano tier because I really do like the colorway. Again, that's a huge thing, which is hard to kind of tell from promo shots. But I would say that, you know, when you look at, again, some of these kind of images, I love that vibrant, that slightly more vibrant shade of red, which kind of looks a bit pink. Again, that kind of color. I mean, it is looking more red there than pink, but you know, it really does. To me, that combo is strong, and I actually quite like. I'm all for kind of crazy colorways, but I do think when you restrict yourself to just 2 colors and a base color, and really focus on, and it's a small thing, but I look out for that, and that typically, I think, to me, can work really well. You're not just throwing as many colors as you can onto the shirt. It's just great. I really, again, this is just my kind of shirt in terms of the intricacy of the pattern, and again, the colorway, the collar's good, and it goes on the back. What I mean, give this to me. If this is in long sleeves, I'll be even happier. But it really is. I mean, you can see there's a number of shirts which fall into that kind of category, even with the tacky Japan detail. Let's not quite get that high. Yeah, no, you know what? Let's go here. There's the Volcano 2 entry for you guys. Santos third. One which I have not actively tried to add to my collection, but would definitely be one I'd look out for if it hasn't sold out. Good stuff. And I think, well, let's do a couple more. Let's do the Island shirt and the Call of Duty shirts, and I think that'll be a fun place. Or maybe let's do the Vasari because that is pretty cool. So let's do a bunch more. Let's do the Island third shirt. Now, I kind of dunked a bit on this on social media because I kind of laughed that the colour of this was called Caviar. It's fine. You've got the reference to the old kits, the old Adidas kits, but honestly, I think if you had these stripes, you know, a bit more prominent, I'd be into it. As is, it's a low. I think I would put it in the low candle tier. And the thing is, what's funny is the base colour. Oh, I forgot to move Umbro. I keep forgetting. So where are Umbro? Umbro. Where are you? There's way too many brand names on this list. Why can I not find Umbro? And again, I'm genuinely just like struggling to find them. What is going on? Genuinely, they should be on here and I can't see them. There they are. Because it looks like Umbro Lotto. Ah dear. my eyes are tired, guys. We will have to call it a night soon, I think, because I am starting to lose it. Although I don't think I've yawned yet on stream, which is a rarity. Anyway, back to the Island shirt. Yeah, it's funny. The colours, you know, again, the name Caviar was pretty funny. I actually don't mind the base colour, to be honest. And actually, the combo is pretty good, but I kind of want more of this green. I think it would help the design. It does look plain. Obviously, you know, when you have a number, it'll probably help. But so we're not. I actually would put it in this tier, but it's kind of down here for me. Not really one to write home about. And Castore, you know, kind of a lot of negative headlines this year. I really do think that they just have too many teams. I would really want, like, I'd want more of a quality over quantity approach. But I get it. They're trying to disrupt the market. It is what it is. We'll kind of we will rank these Call of Duty shirts individually, but I will just kind of talk about them as we go through. So Charlie guys are awesome when it comes to collaborations. They've done stuff with Star Wars. They did a Mexican wrestling collection, which I'm sure you saw those. And now this Call of Duty range is really fun. You know, I've not played Call of Duty for a while, but I am a bit of a gamer myself. I do enjoy the rare instances when the video games world overlaps with football. Some of these are really sweet. I actually really like this Club Leon one. This is easy one of my personal favourites. The camo thing, yeah, it's maybe a bit obvious, but I do actually think like the kind of colourway is really nice. And to me, this is like a sneakily very good shirt. I actually really rate it in terms of a look. I would be quite happy to put it. I mean, I think with the Call of Duty, you know, you get the extra details. I'm sticking it there. Like, sure, it's only, you know, sublimated in the design, but this is a really fun collector's piece. It's the 20th anniversary of COD, and I actually would really like that one. It's one of my favourites of the set. We come to Santos Laguna. This one, the design, a bit less attractive to me, but the thing about Charlie's, you know, you're going to get good quality. Like, look at that plastic badge. Looks good, and the colours are good. They've recolored everything, so it's funny because Charlie shirts are great. They're really nice pieces to a collection, and even though it's not as much to my liking, you know, you've got stuff on the back, I think this is still a Flames t-shirt. That's the thing, guys. Like, when it comes to and we will move Charlie around, so they're there now, but we'll remember them as we finish the collection. Yeah, it's like, ultimately, collaboration shirts like this, they're a bit of fun. You've got more kind of license to go a bit crazy, and I would really say this shirt, or this collection, I should say, is one which would be really cool to add. The shirts in the collection would be really cool to add to your personal collection. I think they're great. We come to Kamataro, and this is great. And again, you know, an unusual look, but like, I like this one not as much as the Leon one, but it's kind of in between with the kind of digital camo. I think it's really well executed. Like, again, Charlie, they are one of my favourite brands for shirts, honestly, and I kind of wish they had a bigger market share, or certainly they came into Europe. I think they would be a breath of fresh air. They're one of those brands that kind of, you know, there's a few kind of shirt collectors in their ranks, or certainly the kind of stuff they're doing, the decisions they're making, that easily slots there. And you know, this one is one of my least favorites, the Tijuana one. You know, you've got the skull, but look at it on the back, little things like that, guys. And they've recolored all the sponsors. So yeah, this one, I think the novelty factor of the COD partnership is actually a real selling point. It's a real positive. It's the kind of thing, you have a shirt like this in your collection, and it's the same with, like, again, the Star Wars ones, or the Lucha Libre ones, and stuff like that. It's the story, it's the connection with something not typically associated with football. So this one, I'm going to stick here, but I do actually quite like it, even though it's in the third tier there. Yeah, the Pachuca one, this is another one of my favourites when you've got the topography. It's funny, I kind of dunked or kind of criticised map shirts, but this one, I think, given the kind of COD connection to me, I kind of like it more than the New Balance one, I'll be honest, the Cardiff one, but it's great. And like, again, maybe a bit kind of on the nose with the Call of Duty side seam, side hem detail, but I mean, it's supposed to be celebrating Call of Duty's anniversary, so you know, you might as well stick the name around. That's going to go there. It's just a really, really good collection. I think they've nailed the brief. And here we have the Atlas one. I think this one is probably my least favourite of the set, and as such, it's going to be the only one that, the second one, I should say, that falls into the Canal tier. Maybe I've got something against skulls, I don't know. Seems to be what's holding those ones back, but just a great collection. And I'm hoping that these do make their way over to some UK-based sellers. At the very least, it's the kind of thing where I'm going to be keeping an eye out, because I would like to, particularly the Club Leon one or the Pachuca one. Yeah, they're great. I mean, again, we'll stick this. I still think, again, with the novelty factor, that's going to go there. And you know, Charlie, not been their best year, I would say, but I'm going to slide them right up there. and I really, really do like that as a collection, particularly, as I say, the Leon and the Pachuga one, to a lesser extent the Kawataro. Let's finish on a high note with the Rosario Central third kit. Now these guys, I forget the exact connection, but there is a connection with Scotland, hence the look here. And I must say, guys, this is sneakily very good. The details are wonderful. Look at that back net detail. Look at this jot tag, absolutely top tier on both accounts. Let alone the design, which is great. Like, this to me is an easy high flames tier. It probably doesn't quite get into the volcano tier. You've got the plain back. The sponsor's pretty bad, even though it's the same color as the Saltaires, the cross. But overall, I think it's great. I think it really is a nice combo. I kind of like the yellow as well. It's a very, very strong oval look. It's not quite. I'm talking about it in the higher flames tier. The details really elevate this one. This would, without the jot tag and the back net detail, you're probably looking still at the flames tier. But I'm a sucker for good details. When it comes to stuff like this, it separates the good from the great, and I don't think it's out of place as high as kind of here. That's how much I like it. There's a good gap there. Let's fill that in. And where Umbro? There they go again. They've had a good night. So I think that's a good place to leave it, guys. We've had some pretty big entries. Let's save the document before we go any further. Highlight of tonight. Well, we had the Santos shirt, which I really liked, but Brisbane Raw came close. And indeed, the Call of Duty shirts are really good. Some of those quite high on the list. But there was Rosario Central for Umbro. Sneaking as well. I say sneaking, just placing nicely on the Flames tier. And that is the Hot Wall. And that is the beginning of the end of the stream. But thank you for hanging out, guys. It's been a fun one. I've enjoyed your company very much. And I think, am I right, it's in the Champions League? Is it back next week? When is it back? I might be completely wrong. I'm sure there's another round of matches, isn't there? He says. Yes, so next week is the Champions League. So we won't be streaming next week, but we will be all things being well. So I'm just looking at my diary here. So that, you know what? Because of next week, and because I'm going away, the last stream's actually going to be of the year. It's actually going to be in a fortnight. So I'll put our details, but basically, I think it's the 5th, is it? Of December. We'll do an end of year stream. Maybe do something fun for that. I can think of something we can do. But thank you for hanging out. Thank you for spending some of your evening or your morning if you're in different parts of the world. It's been fun. I've appreciated your input. We got a couple of wins on eBay, which is pretty cool. And we saw some pretty nice shirts on the Hot Wall. So thank you. On your way out, don't forget to subscribe. And there's a bunch of videos on the channel and some videos to come. So look out for that. But thank you very much. Yeah. Enjoyed it very much. I will see you very soon for another one. If not for a stream and a video, I'll be on Twitter and talking about shirts somewhere where we can talk more, guys. But thank you for your company. I will head to the outro scene in a second. And yeah, just want to say it's been good. See you for the next one.